Christian here. Today I want to share a little dream with you that I had about a week ago. And this dream, it was really puzzling because I couldn't make heads or tails of it at first. This is how it went. I was looking down as though from above, and I could see below me there was a giant grid pattern. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of the periodic table, and only this was a perfect square, right? So there are lots of squares within a giant square. And every single square, I couldn't make out the details of it, but I knew that every square was an individual, and there was a particular pattern that I was seeing within each square, and each square was different from the one next to it, and they were all different. But each person was mixed with the Word. So there was the Word of God, and this person in their life was believing for that particular thing, and that was that particular pattern, all right? And I knew, looking at this, that every one of these were about to break out, okay? These were all great patterns that if you could actually see them, if it hadn't been blurry, but I could actually make out the details of them, it'd be awesome to know, because you'd be able to invest in very different people, and it was awesome. But it was just one of those things that God was showing me, and that was the end of the dream. And so I woke up, I thought, well, it's a great dream. Lots of people are about to break out, and there's probably some different patterns between all of them. But I didn't get any of the details. I missed it. The only thing I could really clearly make out was the grid lines and the fact that there were different patterns in people's lives. But yet they were all the same result, where they were all going to break out, right? So I want to talk about that, what the Lord kind of showed me about this. And it's really a story that He's been showing me a little bit here and a little bit there, just in various different ways. And it all boils down to basically the Israelites going into the Promised Land. I want to talk about this for a little bit. You know, God allotted to each person or each family a different territory or a different area. Okay, they didn't all share the same, acre of land. They all had their own separate land. And this is important because you have something that God has spoken over you, all right? And I know many of us have been in that situation where God spoke something over us, and we had faith and we're believing for it, and then someone else comes along and they see what God's spoken over us, or what we tell them God has spoken over us, and they begin to belittle it and tell you, well, that's no good, and blah, 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 and you should be doing this and not that. And they're talking all kinds of trash about what you're believing God for, right? Don't let people do that to you. You probably know that, but that happens, and especially when you're new in the faith, or you're first getting that word, it hurts a lot when people do that to you. I just want to point out that in this particular dream God showed me, there are many different patterns. So, we're not all going to look alike. And someone comes along and says, well, that's not what I would do. Of course not. It's not your pattern. But also, you can't expect everybody else to come along and do your pattern, right? Because you'd be doing the exact same thing that foolish person did a moment ago to you, but you'd be doing it to everybody else. And so I kind of want to point out, whatever God's given to you to do with all your might, but recognize that God's given you that to do. And maybe not everybody else is supposed to do exactly what you're supposed to do. So even though you're about to break out, and everyone's going to look at you going, wow, that's awesome, what happened to you? Telling people to then go turn around and go do exactly what you did may not be the best solution. So what you should in fact tell them to do is to go back and do what you did from the very, very beginning, which is seek the Lord first, right? And then He spoke a word over you. You obeyed that word. You were faithful, and you waited, and then when He brought it to pass, the glory of the Lord shone on you, kind of thing, right? So I just want to kind of share it with you, encourage you. Whatever God has spoken over you, be blessed and be all about that thing, because that's what God wants you right now, okay? So take care. Don't forget that I upload every couple of days, so share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.